Hello, I'm Michaela, and this is the Viking Report. This year at HAL, it's out with the old and in with the new. In this edition, we will cover some of our new clubs, the ongoing renovations, and the new phone policy. In addition to that, we will hear from some of our upperclassmen on their advice to underclassmen. Let's head over to Malu on the new clubs this year.
Within the last year, several new clubs have been added to Howell's extensive list of extracurriculars. Among these are Francis Howell Key Club, an organization centered around community service, and the French Honor Society, which centers around students learning of French. Now today, let's hear from the founding members of these clubs.
We wanted to help students get an appreciation for volunteering and community service, and we wanted to give them opportunities to get NHS hours as well. So we actually started it at the end of last year, and we talked to Ms. Flores, all four of us, and we asked her, and then we had to get 10 members. And then after we got that, Ms. Flores is the sponsor of Student Council as well, so she got it done. But we did the presentation for the club at SUCO this year. We all know Ms. Flores, and we all know she's like really responsible, and she has a lot of clubs that she already does. So honestly, we were just talking to her about it, and she did offer to sponsor it. I think it'll get a lot of students involved in the community and get them open to volunteering with different kinds of people and help their leadership skills as well.
I started it because I wanted to try to get more immersed in French culture and learn more about the language and the people that live there, because I think it's all really fascinating. So first we kind of like talked about it a little bit between me and Layla, who's the other founder, and we went to get a sponsor. We got Dr. Bachter and Miss Southern, and then we filled out like a form and we gave it to Stuco so that we could get voted on whether or not we can become an actual club. And then Stuco voted on us, and now we're a club. Well, we knew that it was French, and so we had to do one of the French teachers. And then, I mean, either of them would have worked, but Ms. Bachter's just the one that ended up being. I hope that it'll let the students learn more about different cultures, different areas in the world.
As many of you know, the Francis Howell campus is currently in the process of being renovated. Included in these renovations is a designated wrestling gym and a new and improved theater. We'll hear now from some students and teachers on how these renovations will impact their activities.
Yeah, because our activity hasn't started, but wrestling, like, it's gonna affect us greatly because we're gonna be able to like have our own space instead of like it's like tiny sliver in the small gym and like with other practices going on at the same time. So we'll actually be able to focus and listen to our coaches, and I think it'll be really nice. To be able to like have our own space in general, like being able to like actually just listen and not have other things going on that takes my mind off of like what I'm doing, kind of just like getting rid of distractions and just like a bigger area in general. So I think it'll be pretty nice because there's like nothing kind of like bothering us while we're practicing and stuff.
Prohibited any activity from us actually being in the theater, which is our space that we use for this activity. So for our winter one acts, we're ending up having to use this North Theater. I'm most excited for our new dressing rooms because they tended to be not the best quality. So they're going to be really exciting to have those updated.
Well, as you can see, I have had to move classes completely from the G building up to the second floor of the A. So I've been moving materials for the classes week by week and back and forth. And it's kind of a little difficult having to adjust lessons with that because we don't have space to spread out and practice. I'm excited for all the technology, where all the space renovation is supposed to be for the audience to see our space, to see how much pride we have in our space. Back behind the scenes, we get all the new technology that hopefully all the students will be able to get to use and enjoy.
Following the statewide ban of personal electronic devices across the state of Missouri, Francis Howell High School has entered the 2025-26 school year with a new state-issued phone policy. Now, let's turn to some students to hear their thoughts on this policy.
I mean, for me personally, I think it's been very beneficial just because I'm like not as easily distracted and like tempted to just like pick it up.
But I will say it is weird because like I'm used to just having like my phone in my hand or my phone in my pocket, like it's in my pocket right now. So like I will say it's like weird not to just like have my phone in my hand. I low-key first thought it was a joke. I was like, okay, like that's funny. Like you actually like they can pass a law about that. I mean, they can pass a law about anything, but I was like, they can pass a law about anything and they pass one about our phones. Like, so I thought that was like ridiculous. But then when like we came to school the first day and like you can't have your phone on, it was like shock at first, but like now it's just like normal. Like I'm not really like, oh, like yeah, you just can't have your phone. My peers are definitely more like conversive with each other. Like there's definitely, I feel like a lot more talking in class, and now like teachers are sick of people talking all the time. But like my teachers were already pretty good about like not using their phones. Like you don't use your phone at work. Like it's just like not what you do.
So far I feel like it's been pretty beneficial. I feel like I've been able to get a lot more work done in class because of it. And I've also feel like I've been able to socialize with people in person a bit more. I was really upset when I first found out because it felt like really drastic. Like it just felt like it was unnecessary to me at first. I feel like there's definitely been a change. I feel like people are more focused on their work, and I feel like there's a lot less talking overall.
It can be difficult to navigate high school as an underclassman, which is why it's so important to hear from people with a little bit more experience. Going now to some upperclassmen's advice on how to have a great school year.
I feel like the most important piece of advice I could give is stay on top of your work. Don't get behind. Once you get behind, it's hard to catch up. But if you do well this year, staying on top of your work, you'll build good habits and be successful throughout all of high school. I think communicating with your teachers is a very important strategy. If you need an extension, most teachers would be happy to give that. You just have to talk. I think freshman year I could have been more informed with stuff. So make sure you stay informed, talk to somebody in clubs and stuff if you don't know. But yeah, information is key.
One piece of advice I have for underclassmen is to make the most of it, because a lot of the times, like I would find myself thinking, oh, I'll go to football games next year. Oh, like I'll have time to hang out, go to basketball games next year, or even like going and having like doing all of it for HOCO, doing powder puff. Don't wait till next year. Don't keep pushing it off. Do it when you want to do it. Start early because you have less time than you think you do. I would say the biggest mistake I see from underclassmen is, again, just the same thing, not getting involved, because a lot of people don't really get involved with a bunch of clubs and activities. They're like freshman, sophomore year, and they wait till junior, senior year, and so then they don't get as much exposure. And a lot of the clubs that we have here at Howell kind of give exposure that helps you figure out what you want to do with your life after high school. And so I think joining as many clubs as you can, just trying different things, really will help you in the future.
Piece of advice I would give to underclassmen is to join as many clubs and activities as you can and to get involved at the H, because that's one of my favorite parts about being here. But just adjusting to all the new work and new classes and different things I had to do, especially as keeping on top of my grades with all the sports I did do. So just make sure that I was turning my work in on time and doing all my classwork. A mistake I see a lot is that they're kind of scared to try new things or not really put themselves out there. So don't even think about judgment from others, because it doesn't matter, and at the end of the day you're only going to regret the things you didn't do, and you don't want to live life with regrets.
Thanks for tuning in to our first edition of the Viking Report. Tune in next time for more of Howell's happenings.